Welcome to Yin Yoga. Today we're going to be utilizing the wall. So, as you get yourself situated, make sure your device is either on your right side or your left side so that all you have to do is turn your head and you don't have to look behind you. And then once you get settled, we're going to begin by staying on the knees, so close to the floor. If sitting on your knees is uncomfortable, you may also do this standing. But as we bring the right shoulder to the wall, you're going to extend your right arm out so that your wrist, when you gaze over the shoulder, is in line with the shoulder. And then as you scoot in, you're going to release the right side of your head. You'll slightly tuck your chin in towards your chest. And you can, with your left hand, place it to the wall or you can place it into your lap. There's a Swami whose name in its entirety I can't pronounce. I'll reference it at the end of this video. The Swami stated, the moment the mind becomes active, the breath is also resurrected because the mind and the breath, they're two companions. They live together, move together, and die together. Today, I want to explore just how powerful the breath is. So, as you close your eyes, I don't want you to change your breath in any way. I just want you to see it as it is. Go ahead and lift your head away from the wall and settle the right hand down. In a moment, I'm going to turn to face the wall, but I'm going to imagine the walls in front of me so I can show you what this will look like. You're going to come to position your elbows on the wall so that the elbows are in line with the shoulders to begin. And then you'll bring your elbows up the wall, and we're going to come into a melting heart. So your forehead may rest to the wall as you seep your chest towards the ground. So as you settle back onto your heels, and you've positioned your elbows in line with the shoulders, and then you'll walk your elbows slightly up. Maybe your forehead rests to the wall. You're bringing your chest forward and down. Feel free to adjust. That might mean bringing the elbows slightly down and scooting your hips away from the wall. You just want to feel this stretch across your chest, in your armpits. Take 3 breaths. Not changing it in any way, just again, sitting with the breath, rooted to your breath, intimately with the breath. And then go ahead and lift your forehead up. Walk your hands down, and then we're going to turn. So now the left shoulder is to the wall as you come to your side. The left arm will come out, wrist is in line with the shoulder. And then as you release the side of your head to the wall, slight tuck of the chin to chest. Either place your right hand to wall or into the lap. Breathing, it's the most important thing that we do. Every single one of us, we breathe day and night. Nothing is more crucial to our survival. But how much do you know about your own breathing? Normally, the breathing process is unconscious. The only time that you might find yourself thinking about your breath is when you don't have enough of it, when you're breathless or choking, having an asthma attack or a blocked nose, or maybe when you're under intense stress and your breath becomes fast and shallow. So that's why today, for this time, I really want it to be one in which you offer yourself this breathing space, help you so that you can get to know your own breathing. To lift your head up off the wall and release the arm. We're going to come take a seat onto our sit bones, but we're going to stay close to the wall so that the left shoulder, is basically brushing the wall. So we're going to butt ourselves close into it. Now, there's no gracious way for you to swing your legs up the wall, but it might be helpful for you to scoot forward and then lie onto your back and sweep your legs up, scooting back to the mid of your mat. And you might also find yourself scooting your hips in close to the wall to begin. Let your arms come to softly rest by your sides, turning your palms to face up. Your chin dips slightly towards your chest. Now, as your legs are up the wall, this shape particular is a prescription for those that suffer from insomnia. Gravity has it that blood is to your feet all day long. So I want you to just close your eyes and feel what you're experiencing as new blood is coming to your brain, this internal wave of new blood to your brain. Soften in your shoulders. Feel the imprint of your low back to the ground. Let your legs drop into your body, like the legs are able to drop into the sockets. Soften the skin on your face. Come into butterfly. Let the soles of your feet come together. The knees fall out to the sides. You can just assess, depending on your flexibility, how you want to position your legs. Maybe they create more of a diamond shape, or your heels come down towards your pelvic floor. You'll rest one hand to heart and another hand to your belly. Make sure that the low back is to the ground and you're experiencing a softening of the muscles to the low back to the floor. I learned of a story in the book Breath by Breath by Larry Rosenberg about the breath that I absolutely love sharing with my communities. You see, the story goes that there's a conference with all of the human facilities, all of the senses, which in the Indian tradition, there's six. There's the five senses plus the mind. As at many meetings, they first had to decide who's going to be in charge. So sight popped up and put in its bid, creating these beautiful images that had everyone enraptured. Smell arose and created these powerful and haunting aromas that left everyone tingling with anticipation. But taste could top that with astounding and delectable flavors from all the world's cuisines. Hearing created exquisite harmonies that brought everyone to tears, and the body brought on physical sensations that had everyone experiencing excitement and joy. The mind spun out intellectual theories that took on beauty by the depth of the truths that everyone here had expressed. But along came the breath, not even one of the senses, and said that it wanted to be in charge. All it could present was the simple in and out breath, not terribly impressive in the face of everything else. But no one noticed it. The other senses, they got into this tremendous argument about which one of them was going to be chosen. So the breath in its disappointment began walking away, and the images began to fade. The tastes lost their savor, the sounds diminished. Wait, the senses called out, come back, you can lead. We need you. And the breath came back and took its proper place. It's said that when we focus on the breath, that we are also focusing on life. To contemplate breathing is to contemplate life itself. And that ancient teaching, that story from India, it points to this truth. With your hand to heart and another hand to your belly, just want you to let your breath continue to be as it is and surrender to the process. Over a period of time, the quality of your breath, it does improve. It becomes fuller, deeper, and calmer with consequences that are both physical and psychological. So, for this next minute or two, I want you to be aware of the simple sensation of the in breath and the out breath. Allow the breathing to follow its own nature, to breathe itself. I'm not trying to have you make the breath deep or to keep it shallow. I want you to see your breath, see how it is. Slowly begin to lift one leg at a time up the wall to reset. Let your arms release to fall by your sides. Your palms turn to face up. And I'm going to have you scoot just a little bit away from the wall. You may have to adjust in the shape I take you into next. But as you scoot a little bit away from the wall, you're going to keep your left leg as it is. And you're going to bring your right ankle to rest directly on top of your left thigh bone. So you should create the upside down four. You're going to slide the left foot down to where it feels most comfortable for you, but where also you're able to maintain your low back to the floor. So make any adjustments necessary so that you can maintain that connection. If you want to intensify this, you'd scoot a little bit away from the wall so that you can slide that left foot down, bringing the ankle in line with the knee. So once again, just make sure your low back is not lifted up and it's completely settled to the floor. Even if it's just for a few minutes, you'll see that this practice is an open invitation for everything inside you to come up. You'll see your wild mind, which we all have. But it's important not to keep jumping from one thought to another to feed an already restless mind. Instead, I want you to station your attention at either your nose, your chest, or abdomen. And while in this shape, remain there with some consistency. Be with the breath as it emerges and disappears throughout the body. If you find that your mind keeps flying off from one thing after another, it sometimes helps to give it something to do. And one simple technique is silent counting. As you inhale, count to the number 5. Pause for the count of 1. And as you exhale, you'll double the number and count to the number 10. Pause for the count of 1. So as you breathe in, you'll silently count to 5. Pause for the count of 1. And as you exhale, you'll double the number, count to the number 10. Pause for the count of 1. Continue to do this. I want you to make it more playful, like a kid's game. I definitely do not want you to torture yourself. Now you're going to open your arms out to a shape of a T, palms face down. So I want you to keep your legs just as they are. But what we're going to do is we're going to let the knees together fall over to the left. So as you maintain this somewhat upside down form and your knees fall over towards the left, it's like the right knee is crossing into your midline and the foot, your left foot, which is to the wall. Now you're on the knife edge of the pinky side of the foot. So no longer is the sole of your foot in its entirety touching the wall. So as we're here with the lower body, just slightly coming over to the left, I want you to look over to the right. Go ahead and slowly bring the sole of your left foot to the wall and re-look up towards your ceiling. Release your right ankle from your thigh bone so you'll extend your right leg up the wall and your left leg up the wall. Relax in your feet. We're going to come now into frog pose. So you'll bring your feet out wide, bending at the knees, so that in a way your ankles and your knees are in line with one another. Your knees and your toes aim in the same direction. Now you'll assess if your placement to the wall is comfortable for your body. You can move away or towards it a little bit. And then you can find the placement of your hands that's most comfortable. You can maintain them out to this T shape. Maybe you turn your palms to face up, or you can rest your hands onto your torso. You want to try to keep your neck neutral to the spine, so that slight tuck of the chin to chest. For today's practice, what I'm suggesting is that you just become more familiar with breathing. While breathing in long, you'll know that you're breathing in long. And while breathing out long, you'll know that you're breathing out long. But your breath also might be short, and you'll just know that you're breathing in a short breath. And while breathing out, you know that I'm breathing out short. It's just recognizing the quality of the breath. It isn't a matter of controlling or attempting to change the breath. But as you pay attention, the quality of the breathing does change, perhaps because thinking is diminished. The breath becomes deeper, more enjoyable, and then the body starts to become more relaxed. This reflects the power of mindfulness. Something happens when mindfulness touches breathing. The mind grows calm. You're going to keep your right leg in half frog just as it is. You'll come into a half wide straddle, extending your left leg, letting it just fall down the wall where it feels most comfortable for you. We're going to be here for 15 to 20 breaths. Notice the quality of your breath. Go ahead and slowly bring your left leg up the wall. We're going to lift the right leg. However, we're going to come into, if you've ever practiced yoga, eagle legs, but we're going to keep the left leg as it is. What you're going to do is with your right leg, you're going to lift it up and you're going to cross it in its entirety over the left leg. So if I was to glance down right now, and you as well, the right knee is stacked on top of the left. We've just picked up that right leg and kind of carelessly draped it over the left leg. Now you have this option to stay here. It's just gently opening up the outer of your right hip. You have the option of finding eagle legs where you can slide the left foot all the way down. It's not necessarily eagle legs. In fact, I'm not quite sure what this posture is called. But when you look down, the knees are stacked on top of one another, and your feet, they're on the same plane. They're just moving away from each other. I think this is called shoelace. So please just know you have the option of keeping your left leg lifted. You can always return to that if you have explored the bend of the left leg, bringing it down the wall, and maybe it's a little bit too intense. So I really need you to be mindful so that you can respond to the moment. Your arms are comfortable for your own body. Just slowly come out of this, extend both legs up the wall to reset. Let the feet splay out to the sides. Now you're going to keep your right leg just as it is. You'll lift your left heel off of the wall, bend in your knee, and we'll bring the ankle to rest directly on top of the right thigh bone. So we're coming back into the hip opener, half pigeon with the support of the wall. So as you found this upside down four, you'll slide your right heel down the wall to where this is comfortable for your body. Once again, you just want to make sure your low back is to the ground and there's length in the back of the neck. Now, I want to just make sure that though the instruction is simple, to stay with the breath, I don't want you to create any drama of success or failure around it. You're succeeding when we're with the breath, we're failing when we're not. Because the whole process of this meditation, and yin yoga is meditative, it's about being with the breathing, drifting away, seeing that you've drifted away, and gently coming back. And it's extremely important to come back without blame, without judgment, without this feeling of failure. And you're probably going to have to come back to the breath 1,000 times over and over again, but just do it. It's not going to be a problem unless you make it into one. Every instance that you see that you've been away, after all, it's a moment of mindfulness. So this isn't about making your breath perfect. It's to see how your breathing really is. You're just looking at the breath, sitting with the breath, disappearing into breathing and leaving all the preoccupations, the worries, the plans, the fears, all that stuff that makes up the mind. And if you do get caught up in thinking, just gently return to the breathing. Our minds so desperately love to be entertained. But you have this opportunity right now with staying with the breath, learning to surrender to one simple object, constantly coming back to it, the breath, and treating it with great care and respect. Open your arms to a shape of a T, palms face down. You're going to keep your legs just as they are. You're just going to allow them, the knees, to slowly begin to drift over towards the right. So now your left knee begins to make its way right to the middle of your body. And you're on the pinky edge side of the right foot. The sole of the foot is no longer making contact to your wall. as we find ourselves in this gentle spine twist, working the outer of the left hip and the sciatic nerve. Go ahead and look over to your left. Slowly bring the right foot to the wall, look up to the ceiling. Go ahead and release the left leg up the wall, right leg up the wall, reset. Now you'll come into that frog pose, bringing the feet down the wall, coming into a straddle, so to speak, where the knees are in line with the ankles and the knees and toes are all aiming in the same direction. Rest your hands where it's most comfortable for you. What we're trying to learn today in this practice is to have a deep understanding and respect for the breath and its powerful effect on the body and the mind. Coming back to the breath again and again, and gradually learning to stay with it and see what it really is. This one pointedness in which your mind becomes completely absorbed in the breath. It's as if you disappear into it. And there's a tremendous joy and peace in that state. It's a kind of nourishment. The mind is extremely still. And when you come out of it, you know how valuable it's been, this practice of meditation. Yin yoga is a form of meditation. It's incredible because when you come out of a practice like this, focused on the breath, breathing with the mind, breathing with the body, you'll have more energy. You're clearer, you're more loving. Strangely, you're more intelligent. Experience this pure energy of concentration. Take 5 breaths, aware of your breath. Mindful if the breath in is long or short, and mindful if the breath out is long or short. Now you're going to keep your left leg as it is. You'll just begin to extend your right leg out into a half straddle, letting the leg fall down the wall. I'm going to move into the background. We're going to be here for about 2 minutes or so. So, with that, I just want you to root yourself with recognizing the quality of your breath. Intimately be with your breath. Now, slowly, the right leg is going to come up the wall. The left leg for a moment will extend up. Now, you're going to bring, as you will lift your left heel away from the wall, the cross of the left leg over the right. It's like we're crossing our legs. Glancing down, the left knee's on top of the right knee. And we'll just stay here for a moment. Now, you have that option to either stay. This might be plentiful for your body. Or you're going to bend your right knee, sliding your right foot down over towards the left side of the wall. So your knees are stacked, your feet to some degree are on the same plane. They're just moving away from one another. Adjust your upper body so that you're comfortable. Slowly come out of this shape, both legs up the wall. Reset. You're going to keep your right leg where it is just for a moment. And then you're going to slide your left down all the way towards the floor. And then your right foot is going to come towards 2 o'clock. Arms to torso, arms to your sides, whatever works for you. As you inhale, repeat silently to yourself, inhale. And as you exhale, repeat silently to yourself, exhale. Breathe deeply and evenly. Your awareness is focused on the breath as it comes in and goes out through the nose only. Now, as you focus in this way, you'll find that in between the inhale and the exhale is a momentary pause. Focus your attention on this split second between breaths, where you're neither inhaling nor exhaling, but you're not holding your breath either. The space between breaths is a thought free state. Continue to breathe, but concentrate your attention on that moment of pause, that split second when you're neither inhaling nor exhaling. And every time you reach that moment of pause, focus on it for as long as you can. Watch this pause as it grows longer. Slowly bring your left leg up the wall. Your right leg comes to center. Let your right leg fall all the way towards the ground. And now position your left leg at 10 o'clock. As you inhale, silently say to yourself, inhale. Notice that momentary pause as you exhale silently. Repeat to yourself, exhale. Slowly bring your right leg up the wall, left leg to center. Now you're going to hug your knees into your chest. Your hands may come to your knees, shins, or behind the legs. You're going to open the arms out to a shape of a T, palms face down. And then shifting your hips slightly to the left, let your knees fall over to the right. And then look over to your left. So we're coming into a spine twist, releasing the legs all the way over to your right. And you're looking to the left, feeling a gentle release of your left shoulder to the floor. You look up to the ceiling and bring your legs to center. You may have to shift your hips to center and then shift them slightly over to the right. And then let your knees together fall all the way over to the left as you look over to the right. Let's be honest. Sometimes we can think of the breath as being quite boring to focus on. But I want you to recognize how you feel. How do you feel? Relaxed? Do you feel calmer, refreshed, energized? Is there a difference between how you feel now and your usual state of consciousness? Keep your legs where they are. Come all the way over onto your left side. Bring your right hand up and all the way over to your left. Pause in a fetal position. You're going to press into the floor and lift yourself all the way up into a seat, spinning around into an easy cross-legged position. Go ahead and let your palms face down and close your eyes. Become aware of your breath, mindful. The meditator breathes in, mindful. The meditator breathes out. Rest your hands to your heart. A cleansing breath. Breathing in helps you to self soothe. And an open mouth exhale is a cleanse, it's a release. From my heart to your heart, we'll rest our thumbs to forehead as a symbol of respect for one another. And we'll bow together and we'll say, Namaste.